Hey everybody, back with another video, another pole position video. This is actually probably part 2 of a very long video on a pole position 2. I want to film it from where it's currently at versus like going through all the BS that I've already done and jumping around and stuff. So I have a pole position 2 CPU board here that I re-outfitted it back to pole position 1. Made it to a pole position 1 video board. I've already tested this and it works, the video board. And we're going to cover the symptom here of this pole position board that won't boot. So we're going to power it on. First thing you get is all Fs. And it will sit there for a little bit and then I'll pause and come right back. Alright, and the reason I actually went back to a pole position 1 setup is because pole position 2 has a whole bunch of graphics on the screen and it's very hard to see the RAM errors and stuff like that if it is having errors with all the colors and stuff like that. But anyway, RAM 73 is somewhat common when your board is actually booting and running the diagnostic code. So the first thing that boots is the sound Z80, and then it reads, I think, both of these ROMs and the CMOS 6116 at 7E. So if that's working, you're likely your BPROM here is working, the board's booting, your like reset line is fine, your watchdog is probably working okay. I'll get into that in a second. But the next thing it does is it boots up the z8002 B, and there's a reset line called reset B that gets activated. That's actually generated by 8E or maybe 8D. 8E and 8D, I think, have a role to play in that. And then when this boots, I guess it reads its ROM's data address here and probably might access some memory, I'm not sure. And then the other CPU boots, and it's got these LS367s, 373s. So yeah, so this is a CPU A. It boots after this one, and then it will read its ROM, and then it has its data, buffers or addressers or something that's addressing the video board RAM and stuff like that. But this is what you get, RAM 73, when one of these is not booting. I don't know. We're going to look into it. I think that's our problem. Alright, so one of the easiest ways you can test and just verify that your sound Z80, which starts the whole boot process, and this is working, is you can actually just remove 7E, and you should get RAM 8, like that. You see, we saw the FF, and then we got RAM 8, and you can see, you might be able to see it. It's kind of, you can tell it's resetting because there's some lines on there. And if we come to pin 26, or actually we can just come to this reset. See, it's resetting. Barely. You can't really, it doesn't really look like it's going low, does it? But it is. And we can come to our watchdog reset, which is pin 1 of this LS161. That's the clock. That should be 60 Hertz. And then pin 15 is your reset. And you can tell it's resetting, right? It's toggling the reset because it's watchdogging. Yeah. You normally wouldn't have anything on these other output pins, like pin 11. If that's happening, then you know it's watchdogging because the RAM's not in there. And you can do the same thing if 7J and 7K are out. Actually, let me take one of them out. Alright, so I have 7J out, and we get RAM 6 versus RAM 8. And if I took this one out, we'd get RAM 7. So it's like, it boots up, it checks this RAM, You know, there's a chip select enable. I'm not going to get into all that. I'll link to my other video, but I was screwing around with the battery area. And so I know the board is booting correctly, or the Z80 is booting. And it's able to access and run the code that's on these two ROMs and also read these memory fine. So the next thing we need to do is actually come to the enable pin here. I'll have to set this up on a tripod, I guess. Alright, so let's power it up while holding our logic probe. Well, hopefully you can see it on pin, I think 14 of the z8002. You see went high, so it held it low and then went high to boot it up, but this one is still low, so CPU A is never coming up, probably because something is failing here, and it could be these 373s, or I guess it could be technically this 8E, which I think is actually generating the reset signals. But most likely, if it's creating this reset signal correctly, it's probably doing the right thing. And really, I don't have any way of like putting it like the FPGA cat box, as well as the my Fluke. I don't have a Z8002 CPU, what the heck, pod, Z8002 pod, or emulator, I guess, that can actually verify its reading and stuff like that. So I guess technically we could do signature analysis and at least go through the 373s, I guess. But that's where we're at. I don't think we're getting past this Z8002 coming online. Alright, I figured I'd do the easy things first. That PAL was socketed. I don't know why it was socketed, because it didn't need to be. Maybe it failed previously, or they thought that was the problem. But I verified the PAL in my programmer, as well as programmed a GAL replacement. You can get that from JammaArcade.net, but that wasn't the problem. And then, since I already have extra chips, this is my spare chipset from another Pole Position 2, I just went ahead and replaced 3H and 4H, as well as 3F and 4F. But because I used deoxit, I also sprayed some of the deoxit, like some of the leftover residue of the deoxit. I just kind of sprayed it out. So I don't know if these chips are bad, but let's see. I still get FFF. Boom. It's booting. Yeah, and this video board I haven't messed with yet, so there are some graphic glitches. There's a pole position one. That's not what this video is about. I'll come back and worry about that later. But let me go ahead and put my F's back in and boot it up, and then we'll put the H's back in. 3F and 4F are back in. Alright, boot it up. That's good. I can go into test mode real quick, just see if it... Yeah, everything looks good. Alright, cool. I don't know if this is going to focus or if you can see it, but there's a little bit of residue from the deoxit when I used the deoxit on it. So I just came in and kind of spray it out a little bit. I don't think that was the problem. 3H. The pins look pretty decent, but we're going to try it. There's 3H. Could have been just bad contact or something. I did not Dremel these legs after using deoxit. I mean, after using Tarnex. Come on, you sucker. All right. Boom. I just needed to reseat 3H and 4H for this thing to work. Oh my god. Let me put it on the tripod. Alright, we're going to power it up. I thought this was going to be some... shit. There, you can tell it booted up. But I'm gonna hold it there again. Power cycle. This is CPU A. It's in low. Then it's... got you. Yeah, you start to see some scrambled graphics before it... I guess I can't do too much at once, but you start to see some scrambled graphics after this boots up. It's accessing... Oh boy. After CPU B boots up, it's reading this ROMs and probably accessing memory, and on the screen you can start to see it get some characters like it's reading. Then it boots this one up, it probably reads its ROMs, which has to access the these custom chips to get over there. So, but I guess I just needed to reseat it. Maybe there was something not right. It wasn't making great contact. That's weird. I wonder if I should Dremel these legs. These are two different types of customs. Like this one here has like normal tin leg. This one has silver legs that I use Tarnex to clean up. These had regular tin legs. It's interesting that they're different. Like you can see, this is 1022, 1022. They're both, you know, number 10 customs, but the last two numbers indicate something. Like here you can see the ones I had in there were 1075, and these look like 10 as well, versus the silver. Maybe the earlier versions of the chips were like 1022 or 101 something. It doesn't matter what the last two digits are, but they might have been silver. Damn, that's freaking crazy. I was pulling my freaking hair out on this thing. Alright, let me set it back up for pole position 2. Alright, let's do this together. Helps if I power on the video board. Got no power on it. I put the pole position 2 video board back on. Alright. I'm getting a RAM. Oh, there we go. Spurious RAM error? Different video board. Or is it... Might want to try resetting that one more time, but it's definitely playing now. Sync is slightly different, I think, because now you get a... on this game. I wonder why that is. Oh, well, I mean, it's different video board with different clock. But anyway, I think it's working. I might put this in the cabinet and wrap the video up. Let it run for a little while and see if those random errors come back after a few power cycles and cold boots and stuff. Alright, got it in the cabinet. Let's see what we got here. We'll do Suzuka because I don't know how to play pole position 2. Hopefully it's not too loud. This monitor is a little bit dark. I need to adjust it. But the colors are pretty decent. I don't know how to qualify, actually. I've only played Pole Position 2 a few times. Can I qualify? Let's see here. Oh! Nice! Not too bad. I think you're supposed to shift around 230 kilometers per hour. I have no idea. It's totally different than Pole Position 1 though. Feels like I'm going slow. Oh my god. Maybe up to 250 kilometers per hour. Oh crap. This is a bad shit. I think I have it on easy or something. All the dip switches are down, so. Oh my gosh, I thought I had that. But anyway, it's working. Yeah, 250 it tops out is when it comes up against a rev limiter, I guess. Alright, there we go. There we go. Pole Position 2. Board fixed. It was a pain in the butt. Honestly. I need to cut a back door for this cabinet. And that's the Matsushita monitor TM202G. And there's the board. Alright, y'all. That's it. Cheers.